This episode is powered by Poddex.
Points of the episode today. So for those of you who tune in on a regular basis, you know that we kind of split things up. We have a video game related episode usually once a week, and then we do non-gaming. So today we're going to dive into an episode that Mike found, or a video that Mike found. And it's kind of, again, we're taking a little bits and pieces of everything that we've done in the past and putting them into one episode. We're going to kind of do a reaction video to a video he found. It's called 13 Terrifying Note Moments in Video Games from Super Horror Bro on YouTube. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through it. From my understanding, it's just kind of a lot of jump scares and just psychologically like fucked moments in gaming. And then afterwards, we're gonna dive into kind of some astronomy and like space topics and stuff like that. And we'll just kind of see where it goes. Again, 50th episode, we're gonna do whatever we want, and you're not gonna say a damn thing about it. So, I'll get this up and share screen, desktop 2, share sound, boom, share. There we go.
E.
Can you see that?
Yeah. And then, also I just thought this would be cool because if these are moments we remember from games, it'll just be a fun talking point and like get to like talk about like how, if that actually scared us or not, and how we felt about that scene.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video we look back at some of gaming's most notorious nope moments. These are instances where players have been forced to back out of their game, or at the very least, take a break from a particular level due to encountering something too creepy or terrifying to handle. These kinds of encounters are known as nope moments for good reason, and are often found in games we wouldn't expect to be scary at all. There are many of these memorable moments throughout gaming history.
Oh god, fucking you ever play Slender Man?
I have, yeah.
Oh god, dude, I completely forgot about that game. I assume that he's gonna dive into it, but fuck that game.
But in today's video, we focus on 13 of the most intense. Fear is a first-person shooter from 2005, where we assume the role of a super soldier known as Point Man, who, along with his...
Does it keep like stuttering?
Yeah, it's kind of cutting a bit, yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't understand why it's doing that.
Team are sent...
Yeah, it's loaded ahead enough. Yeah.
Into enemy territory to investigate a paranormal phenomenon. Said phenomenon is a girl called Alma who appears as an all-powerful ghostly apparition at certain points throughout the campaign. Ghost girls are always terrifying, and Fear's developers use this to their advantage, incorporating a number of perfectly devised jump scares that made gamers at the time squeal well, fear.
Yeah, fuck that.
Ah, god, dude.
Mario 64.
Nah, dude, fuck that. I'm glad I never played. I've heard of that game, and like I've seen every time I watch like those clips, it fucking makes me jump. Just anything about like just because like understanding the meaning of ghostly girl apparitions. It's literally a demon or just something not of human form that's taking form of innocence in a little girl or little boy to try to decept people. So it's just like understanding the meaning of why that's a thing is just like, I don't know.
Well, and imagine being a super soldier too, because that's what they set up the protagonist as. There, this guy's a super soldier. He's trying to deal like this dude's a warrior, man, and he's facing a little girl. Like that's fucking like even like no matter even the most battle-hardened person's gonna be like hearing a child laugh in the dark when you're in a situation where it's a combat-ready situation. That's gonna just trigger some part of your brain to be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like you're not.
No, that's
It's like playing Call of Duty, and imagine just like some little girl pops in front of you when like in Warzone or something.
Yeah. Well, it's like from during the Halloween when you'd open a chest and like ghosts and they'd go, hey, there'd be like witch cackling. You remember that shit?
Not really, no.
Oh, Yeah, around Halloween, there was like they had like jump scares from when you'd open fucking chests or
Oh.
boxes, and it wouldn't happen all the time, but it would happen. I swear, there's an algorithm that they had to that they knew they'd catch you off guard. Because there'd be times I'd be expecting it and it wouldn't happen, and the second I let my guard down, fucking.
That's funny.
4 is,
Now,
on one
Mario.
hand, a pretty cute and kid-friendly platformer. At the same time, it contains a handful of moments that, especially for the time, were pretty unnerving to behold. One of the more infamous is the piano room found within the Haunted Mansion stage, Big Boo's Haunt. At a first glance, it seems like a pretty normal piano, but as Mario approaches, it springs to life, showing a sharp set of white teeth and proceeds to try and chomp down on the poor plumber. The creepy sound of piano keys slamming and sudden unexpected awakening of a usually lifeless object makes for a jump scare that gets players because it isn't something we expect to find in a Mario game.
Interesting.
There's something unnerving.
Oh, Condemned is a good one.
Yeah, that Mario one is more of like a whoa, like it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like a lasting thing. It's just like, oh, they got me, especially with how poor the graphics are.
It makes me think about like the whole like a scarier concept. There's like the fan theory that Luigi like killed himself in Luigi's video game. I don't know if you've ever read that theory, like Luigi suicide or some shit. You can like see a shadow of what looks like Luigi being hung by like a rope. It's weird.
Oh, huh. Yeah, I definitely never
And
seen that.
there's also
before.
there's also shadow people in Mario games. Like if you like zoom in, I believe it's either Mario or Zelda. I can't remember, but there's like shadow people on one of the maps. But anyways, let's go with the Condemned.
About
Condemned.
mannequins, and perhaps this is why they are often used to great effect in the horror genre. Crime investigation game Condemned Criminal Origins used the mannequin trope to create one of gaming's biggest nope moments and scariest levels to boot. As we explore a seemingly derelict department store, mannequins can be found throughout. However, something we aren't prepared for is the moment where one begins to suddenly move before our very eyes. Others begin to follow suit, and after they attack us, it becomes obvious these are people posing in masks and makeup rather than actual mannequins themselves. Still, by this point, we are genuinely terrified and ready to get out of there as soon as possible.
Stream live and on-demand TV, now including these
fuck that.
things. YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Try it free.
Mannequins are generally like
This
pretty,
is the
like,
checkers game where grandson
harmless,
and
but, like,
granddad will bond.
I've thought of that from like time to time, like being in a store where it's just like, oh, just having a big imagination, or just like I look at a mannequin and I'm like, what if like going back to like being a killer, like imagine being somebody who works at a department store who's a serial killer that hides bodies of their victims inside of mannequins in the store.
Yeah, like there's that one movie. There's this one movie actually about that concept. I can't remember the name of it. It's about like a killer who literally encases like his victims in wax.
Oh, House of Wax.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I actually just watched that not too long ago. I watched it a couple times when I was younger, and then I saw something about it. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that again. I remember that scaring the shit out of me. The scene where the chick gets her Achilles tendon sliced because the guy was under the car. Oh, that fucking gets me every
There's something
time.
unnerving about that, dude. Like just something about getting your ankle slashed. Like that just
Mhm.
that in itself bothers me so much because like, ugh.
People do, because I've heard of like in cities like Chicago or just like high crime rate cities where literally criminals will hide under people's cars, slice their Achilles so that they literally can't move. They're literally stuck crawling around because they can't stand up, and then they like steal their cars and steal their money and just drive away and let that person either bleed out or just somebody comes and eventually finds them. But
Imagine trying to do that to the guy who wears a prosthetic leg, though. You go to slit and like you just rip his pants and he just turns around and beats the shit out of you.
yeah,
Because you're not under his car, or he just gets in his car and runs over you.
or like you go to slice it and it goes all the way through, and then like the guy just gets in his car, and then like his prosthetic foot is just sitting there, and then like as he's driving home, he's like, "Huh, my foot's gone."
Yeah, it's like, oh. Or he just like hears the thump. He's like, what the hell? He gets out of his car and just sees he ran over somebody and he like
Yeah.
sees his prosthetic leg on the ground. Like, Oh.
Should have chose the other leg, bud.
Whoops.
All right, Alien Isolation. This is a good one. I've played this one before.
Many consider Alien Isolation to be one of the scariest games of all time. Based on the iconic horror movie franchise, Alien Isolation places us inside a space station where we are completely cut off from communication with the outside world and stalked by the fearsome movie monster every step of the way.
I'll get closer to it.
Each encounter with the alien is different, and if caught, results in an instant game over. The alien encounters are numerous, and thanks to some clever AI and skin-crawling sound effects, this enemy has caused many players to quit long before completion.
Like me. I never completed the game, dude. There's one level I got stuck on where it just like, it got to the point where I would panic too much that I couldn't get to where I needed to go. And I just kept dying and dying and dying and dying. And it got to the point where just my anxiety was fucking through the roof. I haven't touched the game since. So honestly, if I get back, yeah, if I get back into it, I'll probably start it over just because I don't feel like jumping back into a point that I could ever get past.
While the Batman Arkham series has never been afraid to dip its proverbial toe in the horror genre, there are few moments that manage to scare players more than the Caped Crusader's first run-in with a genetic mutation known as Man-Bat. This was a man who experimented on himself with bat DNA, transforming himself into a strange hybrid of the two species. At a random point during the game when roping from building to building, the following jump scare takes us by surprise as Bat meets Bat.
Yeah.
It's just being super jumpy.
Oh, really?
For you still?
No,
Yeah,
it's clean for me.
It's still super jumpy on my end.
Okay.
As long as it's recording clear for you, I don't think of it as a problem. But like, yeah, it's just super like.
Okay. I guess I'll find out when we're done. Like when afterwards, when I go to edit it, if it's jumpy. But
yeah, if it's still smooth, it's fun. But.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's clean on my end, hopefully it's good for the episode. I don't know. Or hopefully it'll get better on your end too.
Oh, fuck that.
The original Tomb Raider certainly had an unnerving atmosphere, exploring tombs and lost locales often in darkness with very little in the way of ambience. One of the most terrifying encounters talked about when Tomb Raider first released back in 1996 was found within the Lost Valley stage. Lara wanders through a dinosaur-infested valley surrounded by darkness, when suddenly out of nowhere an enormous T-Rex emerges from the mist and gives chase. It's a chilling moment for sure that caused many players to nope out immediately.
Can we just appreciate how fucking high she can jump? She just jumps higher than a T-Rex. Like, goddamn. Like, Lara Croft has never been known to have superpowers, right? Like, she's just athletic, if I remember correctly. I don't think she ever had any notice.
Good with a bow.
Yeah, she just jumped literally higher than a T-Rex's head, which I don't know the exact statistics of how tall a T-Rex is, but there's not a human alive who has that kind of vertical.
No. Well, it's 1990s video games. What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Much like Mario 64 before it, BanjoKazooie is a classic 3D platform game from the Nintendo 64 era. It is, for the most part, far from what anyone in their right mind.
I was just gonna say, man, he's packing heat in those shorts. I don't know if you saw.
No, I didn't. What?
The dude's smuggling. At least it
It's a classic.
I'm going crazy, but come on. Show us that banana bundle.
Platform game.
Oh yeah, he's packing.
Yeah, he's got some.
He's got it like to the side too, like.
Yeah, he's got something going on there. He has some weird creases. I don't know what's up with his shorts, but I don't know. Maybe his boxers are bunched up, but like he's also rocking the shark tooth necklace with no shirt. Why is he even wearing shorts? Like, there's just so many things to unpack here. Why are his hands so fucking big?
Yeah, why does he got gorilla hands? He's a bear.
Yeah,
Why does he have like man hands?
Yeah, bro. He's got that backpack on. I mean, at least that's smart. But like, you think he'd wear a jacket if he's like worried about storage? You have extra pockets. Then I don't know.
From the
Big ass belt
Nintendo
buckle.
64
Fucking
era,
packet.
it is, for
Bro,
the
he's
most
packing
part,
heat.
far from what anyone in their right mind
have
would
his conceal
class
and
as a
carry for
horror
that.
game. However, it has its creepy moments, and one in particular that really freaked people out at the time, especially those with a phobia of underwater nasties. This giant shark is called Clanker and is not actually hostile. In fact, the duo are tasked with freeing Clanker from imprisonment. However, it's easy to see why Clanker's appearance bothered so many people when the game first released, especially when we consider the fact he appears at the end of a dark tunnel deep underwater.
Why do you have blood on him? It looks like he's made of metal, but he had blood on him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of more like, the more you think about his looks is what starts to bother you, because it's like, is this a shark that was experimented on?
Mm-hmm. Fucking Slender,
Woods at
man.
night are a scary place, and with urban legends like Slender Man, they are made all the more unsettling. The premise for Slender the 8 Pages is simple. Explore the forest and, as the title suggests, collect 8 pages. That's it, and it's possible to complete the game very quickly. However, with limited battery life in our flashlight, and Slender Man becoming increasingly difficult to avoid at every turn, anxiety soon mounts. Slender Man is iconic for a reason. He really is the stuff of nightmares. A tall, gangly man with an expressionless face who can teleport around us in the dark. It's not hard to understand why so many players noped out of this after spotting him staring at them in the darkness for the first time.
Is this a cult if I ever heard one? Yes, it is.
By killing themselves, they ensure.
Ooh, Amnesia.
Go ahead, pause it. Oh yeah, you gotta pause.
Yeah.
I only have one question about Slender Man. Who the fuck tailored his suit for him though?
Himself. I don't know. Maybe he's a good
It looks
tailor.
too nice. Maybe we just found his like secret underlying skill. He just makes his own clothing.
Well, because there's
So he
like
can make a
there's
neat
like
suit.
there's like certain stores that are called like Big and Tall, like for like larger sized people, like
Tall and slender.
yeah, like big and tall.
Well, he ain't even like big. He's just slender. That's why you
Yeah.
know what I mean. So he's like tall and
Tall
thin?
and tall.
I don't know. It's extra tall and sexy slender. That's what it's called. That's where he shops. Him and all the other Slender Men. There's actually multiple.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent is one of the most notoriously terrifying horror games out there. It contains an unrelenting atmosphere of pure dread and many instances of genuine terror. We explore an old castle with only a lantern to light our way as we unravel a dark and disturbing story involving rituals and human experimentation. However, one sequence fairly early on in the game caused many players to quit for good. As we explore a flooded cellar, things seem a little too quiet. Then suddenly we hear footsteps in the water, and out of nowhere, an invisible attacker bolts toward us. The sight of water splashing up as an unseen terror charges us down was a first for gaming at the time, and naturally caused many players to bail after witnessing it. This narrator was one of them.
He said no.
Zelda has always contained an element of horror, with some sinister enemy designs and creepy dungeons. However, if there's one enemy from this beloved series that
fuck?
really caused
What the fuck is it doing? Why does it look like E.T.?
It's just giving him a nice little head hug.
players to freak out, it has to be Ocarina of Time's version of the Re-Dead. These tall zombie-like monsters wear creepy masks as they periodically emit horrifying moans. They appear in clusters and attempt to latch onto Link with their clawed hands and eat his face off.
They're not really good at what they're trying to do, though.
It's a Zelda moment that takes us...
If you're trying to eat somebody's face off, why would you put a mask on?
Yeah. And then why are you trying to eat the top of their head first if you want their face?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hair to get through to get to the face. It's like you don't, like if you're gonna eat like a cow or something, you don't. I mean, I guess that's a bad place to start. I guess if you're gonna eat a horse's head, you don't start with the I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just keep it.
By surprise because of how much darker and more disturbing it is in contrast to the rest of the game.
It almost looks like it's just dry humping him.
Yeah,
Outlast is full of note moments, let's be honest. From extreme gore to jump scares out of nowhere, this is a game tailor-made to scare the absolute living daylights out of anyone brave enough to venture into its psychotic world. However, if we are to pin down one particular nope moment here, it would surely be this conversation between two deranged brothers in the prison block. They calmly speak about which parts of our character's body they would like to eat first and why.
We give him a running start.
There's an idea.
And when we kill him slow.
Such patience.
I want his tongue and liver.
They are yours.
So a pretty normal conversation there. Luckily they are locked safely behind a cell door. However, later as we navigate down a dark hallway, the clap of lightning illuminates the path ahead to show the brothers striding toward us. A gut-wrenching moment for sure. Be quick or be dead.
That's not even the worst part. They actually like give a full-on chase. That's like the worst. That's like the worst part. Like I played Outlast, like all of them through so many times that I know where to go now. But the first couple times playing it through was just terrifying because you have somebody chasing you.
You have no idea where, there's no prompts. There's no
there's no laid out path to like. There's no like cursors that pop up on the screen like go here next, go here next, go here next. Like you run in circles having this thing chase you and like nope, wrong turn, nope, wrong turn, nope, wrong turn. And sometimes you end up in a dead end. You're like, well, gotta die quick. Dead Space, I forget about these.
I think it's safe to say that most of us are squeamish when it comes to the human eye and anything bad happening to it. Dead Space 2 uses this concept to really evoke a reaction from gamers by making them slowly and carefully insert a needle into the iris of their character Isaac's eye. This is to stop Isaac having near-fatal hallucinations. However, I think most people would rather suffer those than have to carry out such a painful and precise operation. One wrong move and say goodbye to your eyesight.
Live TV from 85 plus channels with local sports and news. YouTube TV. Try it free.
Hey, babe, can you come in here? I need you to check something out.
Oh.
Resident Evil 2 is full of scary sights and sounds. From the skinless lizard-like lickers to hordes of flesh-eating zombies, navigating Raccoon City Police Department is a pretty scary prospect. One particular moment stands out, however, as being more than scary, but also genuinely horrifying to behold.
Jesus Christ!
This behemoth is known as Mr. X, a creation of the Umbrella Corporation, developed to hunt down and kill specific targets without hesitation. In this case, our heroes Claire Redfield and Leon Kennedy. After first encountering Mr. X, a large portion of the game thereafter is spent trying to avoid him as he marches around the police station. Hearing his footsteps move ever closer and eventually watching him emerge from the darkness ahead never stops being scary and is the very definition of a nope moment. And that's it for today's video. Please remember to give it a like if you did enjoy watching, and maybe drop a comment too, as well as subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss an upload. This channel specializes in variety.
Cool. Alright, so it kind of wraps that up. Hopefully the video ends up good for the episode so you guys can watch it, otherwise I'll cut it out, and then,
at least we enjoyed it.
Yeah.